Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the things I wish I knew when I was a teenager. There were a lot of things that I learned when I hit my 20s and left teenagehood and kind of fully entered adulthood. And they're things that I kind of wish I knew when I was a teenager. Whether you're in university now or you're in high school, there's a lot of things you learn as you go on in life. And as I've been going through my 20s now, I'm now 23, I've realized quite a few things that I didn't really know when I was 16, 17, 18, 19. So hopefully this video will help you guys realize some of the things that I didn't realize, because I wasted a lot of energy on things that were not important. And if you're in your teens now, regardless of if you're in university or high school, these are things that you might be struggling with or thinking a lot about. So hopefully after this video, you'll know all of these lessons so you don't really have to wait until your 20s to learn these things. So the first lesson I wish I knew when I was a teenager is that a few best friends is a lot better than a group of friends. First of all, right off the bat, I'm gonna say friend groups never work. This is something that I told my sister when she was in high school. She just graduated, and when she was in the middle of high school, she had a really big group of friends, and I told her that friend groups that are that big never work because there's always drama and there's always cliques that always form. And guess what? She didn't listen to me, and I ended up being right. That group ended up having a lot of issues, and she didn't end up staying friends with a lot of those people in that group. And I tried to warn her, but sometimes you just have to learn things in life, I guess, and go through it yourself. But hopefully you guys will keep this in the back of your mind if you're in a friend group right now. Even though it might seem like you're all super close friends and you all have each other's backs, the truth is that there's only a select few people within that group that, number one, that you can actually trust and that will have your back no matter what, and that you will actually end up being friends with throughout your entire life. You know, everything today is about how many friends and followers and things you have, so it might seem having as many friends as possible is what you should do, but having those few friends that are your best friends that you know you can depend on no matter what, that you know if you have an argument you'll always bounce back from, that you know will be there for you when you call the first time, the second time, the third time, those are the people that you want to have in your life. It's not the people that you just hang out with on a Saturday night and who talk about you behind your back on a Sunday night to somebody else, and that's what's going to happen in a big friend group. I know that this happened to me in high school. I had a big friend group that I was friends with so many different girls, but at the end of the day, my core friends within that group that were my true best friends are the ones that I lean on when I need something, and I don't talk to 3/4 of the people that were in that group. It's just those people aren't your true friends. So having a few best friends is what's really important, because those are the people that you're going to be able to lean on when you're in trouble, and those are the people that are going to have your back no matter what. The second lesson I learned when I got into my 20s is that you do not have to prove anything to anyone. So why is this important? Well, the thing is that as a teenager, just naturally, you want to be a people pleaser, you want everybody to like you, and you want people to see the value that you offer. And the thing is that not everybody is going to see that. So if you're caught up in trying to prove that you're pretty, you're the most athletic, you're artistic, you're smart, whatever it might be, if you're caught up in trying to prove that to someone or multiple people, you're just gonna end up losing yourself in the process. I kind of learned this one the hard way. I wanted to prove so much, both in high school and university. When I was in high school, honestly, I kind of felt invisible to a lot of people. And the thing is that a lot of the popular kids, or even if you ask just anybody from my year when I was in high school, they probably don't even know who I am. There's a lot of people who don't take the time or care to get to know you if you're not in the popular crew. But the thing is trying to prove to someone that you should be invited to that party, or that you're really smart and they should ask you for help, or that you're really athletic, all those kinds of things are just a waste of your time, because the thing is that the people that actually see your value, that actually see those things in you, that you don't need to prove those things to them, those are the people that matter in your life. The people that don't care about you, that think poorly about you, or that you feel like you have to prove something to them in order to be a part of their life, those people, you just need to get rid of them and do not spend your time on them. Trust me, I know I did that a lot, and the truth is you cannot satisfy everybody. Not everybody is gonna like you, not everybody's gonna see the value that you offer, not everybody's gonna see all the things that you see within yourself. So as long as you see them within yourself and you believe in yourself, you don't need other people to see what you see. Honestly, I just think sometimes that I'm like, I don't know what I was doing as a teenager, and even in the beginning of university. I was trying so hard to prove that I deserve to be in my program and that people should pick me for things and pick me for group projects and want to work with me and want to ask me for advice, which nobody really did. And I felt kind of like an underdog in that program, like nobody really noticed me, nobody really came to me, and I was told that I wasn't a leader and that I couldn't do certain things, and I felt for so long that I needed to prove to people that I could do these things, that I was a leader, that I was one of the best in the program. But thing is, it didn't even matter. Like, it didn't end up mattering because I knew within myself what I was capable of and what I could do. And look, I ended up working for one of the biggest sports teams in Canada, the Toronto Blue Jays. So it looks like it worked out. I ended up getting my dream job. And so it doesn't matter what those people thought. It doesn't matter that people thought that I couldn't be a leader because I'm leading a ton of projects now. So all that time I spent worrying about what people thought and trying to prove myself to them, it was honestly just a waste of time. So I really hope you guys do not get caught up in this. Do not be 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old Alexandra who is literally just trying to be a people pleaser out here. You gotta be yourself and you gotta live your life for yourself. Trust me, if you're living your life for other people, your life is gonna be super unhappy. But if you live your life for yourself, then you're gonna be happy because you're gonna be living for what you want and what you know you're capable of. So don't worry about those people out there that are telling you you can't, because trust me, if you believe in yourself, you can do it. Another lesson I wish I knew when I was a teenager is that you do not need a boyfriend. So if you're someone out there who thinks you really need a boyfriend or you really need a girlfriend and you just really want to be in a relationship, I know exactly how you feel. Throughout high school, I wanted a boyfriend so badly. I wanted somebody to just see me and think, you know, like I really want to be with that person. And it never happened. But the thing is that I'm kind of happy it never happened. And if you do have a boyfriend or girlfriend and you're in high school or you're in the beginning of university now and you're still in your teens, then that's cool. It's not a bad thing, but it's just, you don't need one. You don't need to feel like you need one to validate to yourself that you're pretty or that you're smart or that you're likable or whatever it might be, because I had a lot of those thoughts, especially in high school. I thought I was gonna get out of middle school, go into high school, and all these guys were gonna come flocking towards me, and that is just not how it happened. I barely talked to any guys when I was in high school, and probably at my own fault. Like, I was kind of shy too, so it was probably me as well. But I know that when I went to prom, after that, there were a bunch of guys that were trying to talk to me, and it's like, you don't deserve me if you only take me at my best. You gotta love me and like me at my worst too. So those were just kind of things that I learned as I got older, is that having a boyfriend or a girlfriend seems really great. And I guess a lot of it is kind of from watching TV and movies where everybody who's 15, 16 has a boyfriend or girlfriend, but you do not need one, and you do not need to feel like you need a relationship like I did, because a relationship is not what's gonna fulfill you. If you don't come across somebody that you really like and that really likes you and you decide to be in a relationship, that's completely cool, because guess what? You get to now focus more on yourself, your goals, improving yourself as a person, so that when you do come across somebody who is the one for you, or that can treat you really well, or that should be your first boyfriend, then you're gonna be ready for them, and you're gonna have already gone through that process of learning to care for yourself and value yourself before somebody else. So if you're not in a relationship right now and you feel like you really just want a relationship, trust me, being in a relationship just to be in a relationship is not worth it, and wanting one so badly just to have one is just gonna attract a toxic and unhealthy relationship. So take this time to focus on yourself, focus on your goals, focus on what you want out of life, and you will attract really good things back to yourself. I thought for so long in high school that I really wanted a boyfriend, and guess what? I ended up not having a boyfriend throughout high school, but I ended up meeting a really great guy at the end of my first year, and we've been together for almost 4 years now, so sometimes it's worth the wait. If you work on yourself and you don't force it, then you're gonna attract somebody that actually deserves you. The next thing I learned in my 20s is that it's okay not to know what you're gonna do with the rest of your life. I know that when I was a teenager, it kind of seemed like you had to choose your entire life in high school, especially when you're picking your senior courses. Everything kind of depended on that. What degree you would get in university kind of solely depended on which courses you picked. And it was a lot of pressure for somebody who's 15, 16 years old to kind of pick those courses and know what you want to do. I know that when I was that age, I was set on the fact that I was going to be a psychiatrist. I took all the sciences, all the maths, I was ready to go, and then last minute in my final year, I was like, wait, I think I actually want to go into sports. So I applied to 2 sports programs and the rest were all science programs. And I got into both sport programs, and as soon as I got those acceptances, I was like, I need to do this. And I ended up pivoting my entire plan that I had created throughout all of those years in high school, and that seemed like a huge jump for me. But the thing is your life is not set in stone. Whatever you choose in high school or even university, that does not mean that your life has to go that way and you have to do that. We're kind of fed this belief that you need to decide your life, and then once you decide that, you need to follow along and do that for the rest of your life. And that is a big decision to put on somebody, especially when they're a teenager. So just so you know, that is completely false. You do not need to decide your life as a teenager. Yes, you're gonna have to pick your courses for your senior years, and that will kind of dictate what kind of majors you can do in university. But just because you choose those things doesn't mean that that's the path you're gonna end up following. I know so many people who went into university and did a specific major, and they're doing a job now that has nothing to do with that major. You can always do a certificate after your major. Once you have that foundation of a degree, you can really go and do whatever you want afterwards if you change your mind. So if you took a science degree and then you're really like, no, I want to be in business, then you can take a business certificate or go into a business program. You can do all of those things. Your options are still open. It's not what you're fed to believe that you just have to follow what you choose in grade 10. That's ridiculous. There are so many options for you out there if you decide to change your mind. And it's okay if you change your mind, because look, I changed my mind after being set in stone for 4 whole years. At the very last minute, I changed my mind, and I am so happy I did. But if this is something that you figure out later and you're in university, it's okay, you can change your mind. There's so much time in your life to pivot your career. There's people who pivot their career when they're in their 30s and 40s. So I'm sure if you're still in your teens or your early 20s, you can definitely pivot your career to where you want to go. So don't really worry about what anybody else says or the pressures that other people put on you. At the end of the day, you'll figure it out, and it might take some time, and that's okay. When you do figure it out, you can definitely do what you want. The last thing I wish I knew when I was a teenager is to cherish the time you have with little to no responsibilities. I know when you're a teenager, you're just wishing and hoping and waiting until you get older, and you think you can do more things when you're an adult, and it just seems like life is so much better when you're older. But honestly, I miss a lot of the things that I was able to do when I was younger, when I was in my teens. I used to play competitive hockey and soccer, and what I would give to go back and play. I'll never get that again. You know what I mean? Like, in the moment, it seems like something that is just there and you kind of take it for granted, but once it's gone, you're just like, wow, I wish I could go back. I wish all the time that I could go back and do so many things that I kind of didn't really appreciate when I was a teenager, and it's because you're just so used to having it. But once you don't have it, you're really gonna miss it. So really appreciate the things that you have now. Whether you're playing competitive sports or you're on a dance team, you're in drama club, you're a painter, I don't know, whatever it is that you're able to do right now because you're a teenager, you might not be able to do it when you're older, and it's definitely not gonna be the same as it was when you were a teenager. So even if you do still get to do it a little bit, it's not gonna quite feel the same. So really appreciate having the opportunity to do those things and having little responsibilities, because as you do get older, you do end up having more responsibilities. You do end up having to worry about like money, groceries, rent. Cherish the time you have now where you don't really have to worry about those things, and you can kind of just take a nap whenever you want and do what you want and go out when you want without worrying about 100 things in the back of your mind that you have to worry about doing when you get back. Just realize how free you are to kind of enjoy life and enjoy it. Don't wish for it to go away so quick, because once it's gone, you're really gonna miss it. Well, that's it. Those were the 5 things that I wish I knew when I was a teenager. Those were really big lessons that I think that everybody needs to learn if you don't know them already. I know that as I became more and more an adult and I learned these lessons, that I spent so much time worrying about really useless and unimportant things that I could have been spending that energy on something else. So I'm really hoping that this video will help you guys realize that These are things you should not be worrying about and not be thinking about. Just kind of enjoy the ride of being a teenager and try to realize that it's okay to make mistakes and you're gonna learn a lot of things along the way, and that putting pressure on yourself to do certain things or be a certain way or fulfill certain expectations, these are all things that are just a waste of time. So just enjoy your teen years because those are gonna go by so quick. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button and the notification bell, and of course, subscribe for more videos on life advice. See you guys next time. Bye.